Hello! Welcome again. If you came from the Rocket League stream, welcome again. And if you have not, welcome to the Point Park Esports at downtown Pittsburgh. Today we're playing League of Legends. How do you feel?
I am very interested how this game goes. Obviously, neither of us are very knowledgeable on this, so
Yeah,
this is going to be an interesting stream, I can tell.
So let's go through the names real quick. I'm Kago, also known as Underdog, and
I am Bryce, also known as Tankzilla10.
yeah, so let's get this started. So like as Bryce said, we have
Together what they want to do, and here we go.
yeah, here we are. Yeah,
Here's the players doing just that.
yeah.
They even have someone walking by and telling them
I
what to
believe that
do.
is their coach here.
Maybe.
There.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I'm not, fully versed on that. But if it is, that's great to see.
Yeah, look at the team as they go along. So, what do we think about the game so far? We have our team who our coach, actually, I think that's the guy that's walking back and forth, is Highway 250. So since he's coaching, I don't think we'll be seeing him in the game today. However, we've got Gideon Godnuts, Point Park University, Ribeiro, Point Park University Soap, Point Park University All the Almighty, Point Park University shuttle. So,
It's Shalot, I hear.
oh, Shalot. All right, all right. Did some pre. Yeah, I'm not good at pronouncing it anyways. So,
And this is Point Park's first game of the year.
yeah.
And there's a 3-minute delay, we hear.
Okay.
So that should be interesting how that plays out.
Alrighty.
Another interesting thing to talk about is Shalot is actually stepping into a starting role this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how they kind of play and, get adjusted to this new team.
Yeah, exactly. So in that case, all of these players, I imagine everyone except Shalot has experience in this, with Shalot being new and everything. They're going to have to learn how to play together, and I'm hoping their practice beforehand is what they've done.
I mean, it's especially important when you look back last year in fall of 2024, obviously, they got swept by Lesley. And Lesley still brings back a deep roster. So there's a lot of situations here where Point Park is honestly the underdog here.
Yeah.
So can they rise up and beat the opponents tonight?
Yeah. So again, this is our first match of the season. So is Lesley. So again, we're seeing a possible first win on our end, or possibly a first win on Leslie's. And as you said before, the last time we went against Lesley, we unfortunately lost kind of pretty heavily with a 2-0. Lesley, obviously. So hopefully we can show what exactly we've been up to and show that we have grown in complexity and technique and all whatever happens in League of Legends, to show that Lesley is going down.
Yeah, this is going to be a very big test to see how the team's doing this year. We're going to see if the team is ready for this kind of game, if they're any better than last year. We're going to see how the new player does. There's a lot to this game.
Oh my goodness. So I'm a little nervous. I won't lie. I'm nervous. I have very small knowledge. Bryce has very small knowledge of how this game works. So please forgive us if we miscommunicate or accidentally say some things that shouldn't be said because they're either obvious or just don't make any sense. We're going to say what we see. We're going to say something that sounds good, and we're going to roll with it. Right?
Yep.
We got it.
This is going to be a lot of fun, I think, though, and I can't wait to see kind of how these teams do and how the game kind of flows and stuff like that.
Yeah, if I ever get nervous, I'm going to pass it on over to you, and if you do the same, all right? Oh dear. Don't worry. This is not gonna be the same thing every stream. If you came here hoping for some quality casting on League of Legends, don't worry. This will just be the occasional. You will get some good quality eventually once our casters, me, Bryce, and everyone else who casts, understands how this game works and all the other games that we play in Point Park University Esports.
Yeah, that's the interesting part about our casting crew this year as opposed to other years. A lot of us are new, so we're kind of getting used to it.
It's a new roster, a new group of people, new faces, and we're about to get started, I believe. So, since while we're waiting, actually, I think we should mention some stuff.
Okay.
Red Bull.
It gives you wings, guys.
Yeah,
That's what it does.
Red Bull. Life gives you wings. So it's a. I love this drink. I really do. It's got a good taste to it, and it's with a double stream back to back from Rocket League onto this one. It's really nice to be able to take a drink of Red Bull and keep myself energized, so I have enough energy to be able to yap and say whatever the heck I can for League of Legends. Because I have no idea what I'm saying. Oh dear. How about you? What do you think about Red Bull?
Honestly, I think the players need to drink this so they can grow some wings and soar to the finish line.
Ooh, drinking some Red Bull, get some head start. I like it. I like it. So I so Red Bull. I love Red Bull. Oh dear. So I believe we're going to start fairly soon. Before we begin, League of Legends, if I remember correctly, it is 5v5, and then those 5 go against the other 5 with 3 different lanes, top, middle, bottom. And then we've got a jungle. And that jungle's got bosses that give you boosts or something like that. I think that's how that works.
And there's a river in the middle.
And there's a river in the
That's
middle.
what we're told. And the objective is just to get to the other side and take down the enemy.
Yeah, you break down the towers. You got minions to help you out there, and then you have the Nexus. I think that's how that works.
It kind of sounds a lot like a tower defense game. That's kind of
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that tower defense, but instead of the placing down towers, you are the tower.
Yeah, you got to you're playing the defense. You're not making the defense. You're playing it. That's the difference.
Yes, I agree. I think that's the great way to say it. But I'm excited. I'm really excited because this is kind of my first real experience of competitive, official League of Legends. So it'll be interesting to really see that field of gameplay, how that works and everything.
Yeah, it's my first experience with League of Legends in general. I've heard of it. That's about it. So
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I just gotta learn, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We learn as we go, and then we'll be able to say whatever we want because we know what we are saying. We definitely do. Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at the players again and see how they're doing. Look like they're locked in, don't you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. And the coach has seemingly left scene.
He doesn't need to be there all the time.
wonder-
I think it's right now. It's just a moment of rest before the game
must have
starts.
finished up his hype, and they're now locked in and prepared for the game. You know.
Yeah. So I think from my understanding, these characters that they've chosen, they're supposed to synergize in some sort of way, some sort of aspects from their abilities, their capabilities. There should be like some sort of support, some front ends, some lurking, some jungle players, I believe. I believe that's how that all works.
Yeah, they gotta find a way to become a team, basically.
Yes, exactly.
And I guess that's what esports is. You know, you work as a team, you try to win. That's what it is.
That's the basic of it. I like it. So I think this is when we begin. Alrighty. Let's see this. Alrighty. Okay. So, a little bit beforehand. If you notice, I believe the one with the pink hair is actually the one that's new, coming off of the roster. Again, her name is Charlotte.
Yep.
Charlotte, yep.
And look at that, the squad is rolling out.
Dang. They're all coming in a big batch here.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Let's see here. That is actually the enemy team going in a big team push here. Going, I believe, bottom lane.
And they managed to push Soap out and actually did quite a bit of damage there.
But from what it looks like, they're trying to play aggressive towards bottom and allow themselves to kind of disperse off of there and start working their way from bottom lane upwards towards the jungle, I believe.
Minions have spawned.
Meanwhile, every other team. Meanwhile, Point Park University is staying fairly separated, playing bottom.
Yeah, they seem to be trying to defend each position individially,
Yes.
which could be interesting. We'll see how it kind of goes as the game progresses.
All right. It looks like Promise and Dior has kind of gone into a group here to play against. Oh, they're hiding. Why are we? So speaking of League of Legends, is actually built by Riot Games, which is actually also the developers for Valorant, which is why we showed Haven on the stream here. Very good.
Yep.
Anyways, back to the game.
I can tell.
Loki is currently doing some things against our PPU players, and so is the Brokey against the Almighty. We'll see.
The Froki seems to be losing that exchange now. from what I saw.
So it looks like Soap and Salat is pushing back just a little bit, playing protectively against those other two players. Seems like they're kind of losing ground here. However, I think they're playing with the tower, allowing themselves to kind of push themselves back up. So again, as last time, as stated previously, interestingly enough, Lesley University, we've actually gone against them before, and unfortunately, we actually lost that round. Actually, kind of heavily too, 2-0, and then end up getting a win. But this is our first game of the season. Hopefully, we're able to bounce back.
Yeah, and I think so far it's been very defensive. If we want to bounce back, we need to start turning that offense upside down. We need to beat them back, and we need to go on the offensive. We need to become aggressive.
I agree.
And as we see right here, one of our players is actually getting double teamed, but his backup came to save him, and they actually just took someone out.
First blood goes to
Loki.
Gerald, I think, actually.
No, it says Loki got Gibby, I think.
I see, I see.
Yeah. It was close, though.
Alright, Soap and Salat. Gonna play this one a little bit. Almighty playing near the tower against that other character over there. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, both Soap and Salat is playing kind of defensively down there.
And I will mention, it does seem like Point Park is down early. They are down on kills and they're down on gold. If they want to win this, they need to step it up.
Mm-hmm. However, they are still playing. Excuse me, sorry. They are still playing fairly in the center. No one has actually made any genuine progression.
And Almighty's chasing the Floki.
Can he get it?
But he's getting stunned on his way.
Can he get that finish?
It is a chase right now. And he got him.
He might.
But the question is, can he get back now?
Yes, he might need to fall back a little bit to get some health back. He did extend quite a lot to be able to finish that kill. However, I think he's good with that one.
Yeah, it looks like he got away with it. That was a big kill for them too, as it kind of catches them up a little bit on kills.
Their economy seems fairly close now. Now after that one kill, and I think after killing a few minions,
the first dragon has spawned.
Yeah, the first dragon has spawned.
That could
Let's
be
see
massive.
if they will focus on handling that. However, right now they need to focus on maintaining their maintaining their defense on all three lanes.
Yeah, this has become a very interesting game early as they continue to play defensively. But we've already seen it a little bit. The Almighty with that push, if they can do that a little more with everybody, this could slowly turn in Point Park's favor.
I agree with that. So it seems to me that there's an interesting play right here where that character is hiding a little bit from the other two. Well, I think it's mainly because they're trying to hide away because it's a 2v1 scenario. Probably not going to win that, and they're going to play secretly, hopefully able to come back. However, we're going back into middle lane right now. What do we got here? Got players.
That Foki is getting low again, I will mention. Already went down to Almighty ones.
Yeah.
Almighty looks like he might go after him again.
Yeah, it seems like this top lane's pretty secure with Almighty doing a pretty good job protecting it from the push of Defroki.
Defroki had to fall back due to all the damage that was being dealt.
Yeah, in fact,
and there we go, Almighty going after
going for some hits. And that's a death
another one.
There you go.
The Almighty is
strong control on the top lane there. We've got some bottom lane. They got some jungle towards the bottom.
That is bad. Lesley did get the dragon first.
Yes. So now that with the dragon, they have a buff that's going to allow them to keep moving forward and probably be able to win this 3v3. Unfortunately. Oh, but it's a 4v4 with a, but the three people are pushing back while that other character is pushing forward, so they're allowed to finish off what they left off.
Yeah, it's becoming very interesting as both teams are fighting for control, but Lesley is slowly starting to pull away with it. You have to wonder if Point Park can catch up here.
Yeah, it's very interesting. However, again, I like to mention, up at the top, it seems like Almighty's having a very good push against that Defroki, preventing him from really being able to push ahead. Meanwhile, middle and bottom lane are pretty even up. They seem like neither of them can really get a push ahead. So, actually, clearly if you look up at the top, again with our economy, we're actually, again, still behind with both kills and our economy. However, I think if we push up again and attempt to possibly reorganize ourselves, might be able to switch that back around. Actually, right now what
The
we're watching...
Void Grubs have just spawned.
Yeah,
That could make a difference if Point Park decides to turn around and go take care of it.
Yeah, if they could take care of that, they might be able to get some of a little push ahead to be able to continue pushing in front and into the next couple towers up ahead. It looks like bottom lane is being pushed back, unfortunately.
And it looks like Point Park got the Void Grubs while this battle was going on.
Yeah.
That could really change the tide of this battle.
So, oh dear. I'm not really sure what's going on here. However, I believe that not only the Almighty and Defroki are now at just kind of playing up at the top there, and they're really kind of just staying with the Almighty kind of pushing up ahead. We've got bottom lane doing the complete opposite, where Salat is being pushed behind with, I believe, who is it? I'm not really sure. But they're kind of being forced to play a little back because it's a little struggle. Again, hitting a little bit and back.
Yeah, it's been a very back and forth game. They're both kind of pushing each other and kind of getting a feel for each other.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can kind of see the momentum slowly go towards Lesley as their economy is just outproducing Point Park's.
Yeah. They're now about 1,000 ahead, which is a little bit nerve-wracking because that gold difference is going to really give them the ability, equipment to be able to really push themselves ahead of Point Park University. We'll see what they make of this money deficit.
Yeah, it's been a very back and forth game, but I do honestly think Lesley could just take advantage, and Point Park better get it together soon.
So interesting enough, we got, we have actually see some interesting gameplay down at the bottom again. Interesting enough, I believe what actually is happening is at the bottom lane, they actually see that, they know that they're hiding in the bushes, so they're just kind of like trying to push them out. And there's another
Thomas is on a killing spree, and if they keep that up, it might be bad for Point Park.
There's a big bout
And you can
here.
kind of see Point Park's health is starting to dwindle here, and they're kind of getting pushed back. And there goes Promise with another one on a rampage with a double kill. Promise is starting to really mess up Point Park here, and if they don't get it together, it could be really bad.
Yeah, right now they're pushing back a little bit because after that previous fight, they're now pretty low and they need some recovery to be able to push up ahead again, which seems to be the interesting aspect of this game, where after you do a fight, you're going to be pretty harmed, and what you can really do is just go back, heal, and come back, and hopefully by the time you get back, the enemy team should not be there. Or maybe if they are, you're able to kill them again. Fine. So I think actually what the case is, even if you get that kill, it's not going to really do anything unless if you have a teammate to actually take over after you have to fall back and get some help.
Another dragon has spawned as well, which could very well shake the balance depending on who gets it.
Yeah, so this dragon,
And it looks
it's
like
actually being-
Lesley's focused on it.
yes. So, right. But this focus on the dragon, it does open up some space up in the other lanes to allow the other Point Park University to push up
And
ahead.
it looks like the red team, Lesley, got another dragon as the Hex Gates activate.
Yeah. Alrighty, so this does not seem to great for Point Park University. Fortunately, we are definitely kind of behind here, both economically and just aggressively. We're not really able to do too much here.
And we're kind of falling behind in advancing too. We haven't taken out any dragons. So far, we've only got the Void Grubs, and that could really come back to bite us if Lesley just gets one more dragon. That's all they need, one more. And it could really cause Point Park a lot of issues.
It's true. So again, up at the top lane, it just seems like they continuously have like this just no movement between both the Frocky and the Almighty. Is just kind of a stalemate with probably a little bit of damage happening to the Lesley's tower. However, back at the bottom lane, got another big fight. That seems to be happening a lot, right?
Yeah, it does seem to happen a lot here. And once again, Promise comes up, and Promise is out here dominating.
Yeah. Seems to be quite the problem for Point Park University with this dominating Promise that they have to go against. Though I think they are trying to push back again. I think they were able to get one off. A little bit of trade here. Will they keep that going, or will they get stuck trying to push? I think Loki is doing a good job kind of like forcing them to stay back because they don't really have that chance. They're all three of them are actually channeling back. I believe that means they're channeling, they're returning to...
The turret plating has fallen, and the dragon's about to spawn as well.
Yeah.
This could be big. This is a turning point in the game, depending on who gets it.
Yeah. They see the change that we need here. So we're working on a golem right now.
And it looks like they got the golem. And Lesley, once again, is just picking up steam. What does Point Park have to do at this point?
Great. So I think Gideon is actually doing quite a good job at pushing back Loki, but unfortunately Loki got some support by by their teammates. So that push is not going to work out too well, unfortunately. Again, up at the top, just coming back to see how they're going. Point Park University's Almighty versus Defroki, Lesley Defroki, sorry.
That is the battle of the century. These two have just been battling back and forth the whole game. And as the Live Hill spawns, I don't think it's going to change. I think they're just going to keep battling, and the rest of everyone else will be doing stuff.
So it actually seems like they're trying to fight that through to be able to get control. I think they're actually winning here. Unfortunately, Loki though,
godlike now.
Yeah, they got that. They got the victory that they needed for that bit, and Loki was able to get one kill. However, I think Loki will push back away. Maybe they will decide to push forward.
They just got a triple kill of Lesley though, all in a row. Things are slowly becoming worse and worse.
So right now, Promise has the ability to be able to just focus on that tower, take it down, and that might possibly be the first tower taken down. However, right now, we're Point Park University might be focusing more on the Rift Herald rather than this. So Red Teams has destroyed the first turret of the game.
And that could be the game changer right there. They focused too much on the Rift Herald, and now it might just come back to bite them.
So
but they did manage to do it. Blue has beaten the Rift Herald.
So now that they have two of these Rift Herald, these like monsters up in the jungle, I think that means that they have some extra buffs, some points that they'll hopefully be able to use against Lesley.
Lesley,
right?
yep.
I think what we aren't really aware of is how the jungle eliminations really work. If it's more effective to focus on killing the dragons or focusing on these random spawns.
It seems that the blue team was able to summon the Rift Herald that they beat earlier. That might be helpful now.
Yeah, that might be what they actually were playing against. Not only they have...
The third dragon has finally spawned, and for Lesley, you know they have to be focused on that. That's the third one, and that's changed everything.
That could. We've got Gideon got down 2 kills now. Let's see if we can get and Promise played back with another. Oh, and Gideon get a 3rd kill, shutting down Promise, removing Promise's killing spree.
And Zelato got a kill as well. They're slowly starting to pull back up.
I can see a little
The
bit of-
comeback is kind of there.
Yeah,
They just beat a
actually-
turret.
They just made a turret. And if you actually look at the economy right now, we are actually ahead in economy. So maybe this was a long con type of game, and their purpose was to build up some sort of attack. And they're actually focused.
On the dragon, they are slowly starting to pull around everything that's been happening. And maybe, just maybe, Point Park can make the comeback.
Yeah, so actually, what I'm thinking, what we're seeing here is actually some sort of slow con game where the top lane is just being handled by Almighty, making sure there's no push up there. Bottom lane was being pushed against us, unfortunately. However, that was just so that was only because we didn't really focus so much on it. However, notice.
They all ganked up on PPU the Almighty and took him out.
Yes.
That could make a huge change in this game.
I think I've noticed something. Lesley is changing their strategy just a little bit now that they're unable to get their 3rd dragon because Point Park University stole that from them. And they also have the Grubs and the Herald controlled, which allowed them to get some push in the lane.
Yeah, but see how Promise is continuing to kill people in this?
Yes.
Promise has played so well that it almost feels like everything Point Park has done, Promise is kind of went above. But here we go. Gibby's also now godlike. Maybe there's going to be a big battle soon between Gibby and Promise.
Yeah, I noticed that. Actually, Gideon is the person that ended Promise's kill spree. So maybe this is the moment that Promise needs to kind of prove that, hey, don't mess with me.
Well, bad has just gotten worse as they were able to take down another turret for Lesley over Point Park. And there goes the other one. And I don't think Point Park has any more turrets.
I think there's a couple more. However, it's a little bit nerve-wracking to see how close Lesley has pushed up ahead in that first lane, I believe. It's with, not first lane, first row of turrets that have been shot down.
It does seem that Point Park has gotten a little bit of revenge. They managed to get another turret. But look at the economy. It's back on Leslie's side.
Yeah. Good flopping back and forth. I wonder if that initial push, because of those 2 eliminations on the Grubs and the Herald, it allowed them to get that head start. But I don't believe that they actually got the chance to really prove, I mean, not really prove, but be able to take advantage of what they already made.
Yeah, it's slowly starting to kind of get to a point where both sides need to step up and they need to make that game-ending stuff. If they can't do that, then this game might go on for a long time.
Exactly. So unfortunately, this fight at the top jungle seems like losing battle for Point Park University. They're kind of being pushed back here. The enemy team, Lesley, eliminated, I believe, 2 Point Park University's players.
Yeah, it's looking very bad for Point Park, but they've already shown it in this game. It can really go either way still. They could still come back, they could still put on somewhat of a performance. So it really depends on how they play.
I agree with that. So I think actually what's going on here now is they're doing a larger push towards the bottom. I believe they're maybe focusing on the jungle's monster down there.
Well, they got him. He's gone, and they're continuing to push. We'll see what's next for them, and they're all kind of in the same area.
Playing kind of secretly here. I think they're about to break out here. While Lesley, I think they caught on to what Point Park is attempting to do. They're gonna push back. They're gonna push down there and see what's going on.
It's become a battle battle of the ages as both sides are trying to find any advantage they can, and all of a sudden, they're all fighting over this one monster.
Yeah. Could have.
But wait, this fight again, Zach Brokey and PPU, the Almighty, are at it again. These guys do not like each other.
Yeah, they keep duking it out. I don't really know what's going to happen there. Unfortunately, because of the assist that Defroki got from the rest of their team, Almighty had to. Almighty unfortunately lost, and they got the ability to push forward with that ability. So maybe right now, Point Park University needs to change up what their strategy is, and I think what they're trying to do was to encourage more play at the bottom. It's working out.
Well, another dragon has just spawned, and if Point Park gets it, they can tie up the dragons. If Lesley gets it, they get their 3. And it seems like Promise just got on another killing streak. That Promise has been playing really good, I must say.
Gibby got another.
There's Gibby again. He's playing good too.
Triple kill, actually eliminating Promise. So Gideon is probably playing. Not probably, definitely playing pretty well here.
Look at that Point Park. Oh, they lost a turret though while focusing on the dragon. Could that come back to bite them?
And with that, the dragon has been eliminated. That now means that both Point Park University and Lesley have the dragon. That third dragon is big, very impactful.
Yep. Whoever gets it could very well be the winning team in this game.
Yes. So actually, remember that monster from before Lesley was going against? They actually backed off, and Point Park University got the ability to actually eliminate that monster.
That's a huge moment for Point Park, and they might use that to their advantage.
Yeah, that's 2 eliminations. Good to see. See what's going on now. So I believe that Almighty is has the ability to move that turret, now meaning that both top and middle turret has been eliminated.
He was taken down for his trouble, but it worked. They got the turret. That could be a game changer.
So it looks like Lesley is playing up at the top jungle again, trying to get some action going here. Looks like Point Park University is kind of falling back a little bit. However, if you notice, Gideon at the bottom playing fairly aggressively, pushing their way up to the top.
It does seem like Lesley has focused on one of the monsters while they're doing it.
Yeah, so
It was great timing.
Monster. I think this is the
And they got the turret, and they were forced to pull away, but just barely finished him before it moved.
So not only did they got it, they lost the turret, however, they also gained the turret.
And Promise is once again back to killing people again with a double kill.
Yes. We'll see if Giddy will be able to come over and just save the day, killing Promise again. Because I believe that's kind of what that's kind of
happening over and over again. It's the same narrative over and over.
Yeah, continuous kind of fight between Almighty and Defroki, and then Giddy versus Promise. And I promise you, this is an interesting match.
It's looking like Gerard's low, and there he goes, taken down by PPU, the Almighty. But it may have costed him if he might go down for it. And yeah, it was Promise who took him out.
Yeah. However, the I think overall that actually gave the ability for Point Park University to be able to push over and almost to be able to eliminate not only Promise but also Defroki. That might be the moment that they need. I think they all just
They
have
are
to focus on
chasing
Defroki.
down Defroki. They want to take them out.
Yeah. At least getting that one kill will be able to say something. However, this tunneling against Defroki might be something that they need to worry about for later, because
And
who knows what
finally took that Defroki down.
yeah, who knows what exactly our enemy is actually doing.
And they found another monster to come after. see how that goes for him.
Yeah. Alrighty. So let's talk a little bit about this game, right? While we allowing some stuff happening. Right now, we are kind of losing in the economy game here. Also, not doing so well with kills. However, that's not all that important. Kills don't really matter if you can't if you're just getting killed and not really pushing your way forward. But right now, this is the first game of the season for not only League of Legends, Point Park University, but also Lesley. So this is their first game, trying their best to do what they can to get that first win under the belt and say, hey, I won. And not only that, Lesley is the winner of last fall's game, and we are trying to look for the opportunity to say, hey, we've changed, we've gotten better.
Yeah, but Lesley, you have to wonder if they're coming in here with the game plan to walk out of here with another with their first win in the year and continue their streak. And the way Promise is playing, it might just happen. They're now on a rampage yet again.
So actually, it looks like they're playing mid lane again, trying their best to. Lesley is pushing up ahead. But I think they've actually been forced to push backwards, and I think they might have overextended due to some cockiness, possibly?
And maybe, but they did just take out PPC the Almighty.
So I think that cockiness is...
but there's Gibby once again, taking out another one.
Gibby's playing very aggressively.
And the next dragon has spawned.
So this could be the moment for
And
either.
right after that, Promise is unstoppable.
Yeah.
It's all starting to heat up now.
Yeah. So I think actually what's going on right now is Lesley's team is falling back, going straight to the dragon, so they're able to focus on that and get their third dragon, which I think is going to be a very huge boost in what they have. And I think with that,
And they did it. And this could be game-changing for them. The fact that they just took out the third dragon. And Point Park better be panicking over there and trying to figure out how they can stop them now.
So I think the third dragon elimination is going to cause Lesley's team, I think all of them I just watched got channeled back, and I think they're going to start pushing with this dragon advantage of theirs.
Yeah, it does seem like that's their plan. But maybe Point Park's doing something as well, as they're traveling the river looking for something.
So from what I'm seeing here actually is now that so Point Park University and Lesley are playing mid lane again. But I think Point Park University is hiding a little bit.
Because they now know that they're not going to have as easy of a time winning with the boost that is now belongs to Lesley.
Alrighty, let's see this. Ooh. What is happening here?
They are slowly marching down the map as they're closing in on the node. So there's one last standoff here at the final tower.
Alrighty. So as we watch, I think the Lesley's team is grouping up to again for a bigger push. However, at this current moment, at the same time, Point Park University players are running back. A little bit more aggressive here. Alrighty. So actually, right now what we see. So actually what's going on here is we have top lane being brawled right now.
An absolute brawl going on as they're all fighting to see who can walk out of here with the win.
Yeah, I'm thinking from my knowledge of what we have right now, it seems like a very even battle. However, unfortunately,
Lesley's pushing.
yes, they're pushing up ahead, going for that.
And they got the turret.
That third turret. Now they have.
Might be about to go down.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh. Things are going crazy. People are going down all over. Shutdowns. People got being killed.
And that
Solato's on a rampage right now.
That is an interesting fight right there. Lotto was able to escape that. Unfortunately, it's no
Gets
longer
dropped by that Brokey, and they are ganging up on the Brokey now. And they got him again.
Gideon Gibby has just gotten an ace. That was 5 eliminations. That is a great moment in their Point Park University. Hopefully they will be able to take back the what they've lost from that unfortunate push that Lesley has done.
It's going to come down to the wire though. Look at the economies.
It's very close.
It is by 0.1% that Point Park is pulled ahead.
And actually, notice, we are now actually fighting the Baron up at the top jungle here. Hopefully, if they're eliminating that, because Lesley, they did a full elimination, team elimination, they have the liberty to just do whatever the heck they need to do, right?
And that's why Point Park, he's going out doing these small things and then channeling back, just in case Lesley tries to push and take them down.
Yeah, so they're pushing up again. We'll see if this will be the moment that they need with that 5-kill that team wipe elimination. Hopefully that'll be what they need to do to be able to push back from a little bit of the right now, it seems like they're doing. Oh my God, Gideon is on a roll right now. Double kill.
Off right now. And so is Shalado.
Triple kill. And that's again, they have that front hand. I think what I've noticed is not only that Lesley, although when they fight in a group, they have very strong capabilities against small numbers. Once Point Park University has their entire group against the other team, Lesley isn't able to really do much. And I think
they're pushing.
Yeah, and I think that's what they've noticed. That's what they need to do to be able to push forward. And I think they're all the way over to the final brawl. They're going for the Nexus. Can they break it before the team returns? This might be the moment that they need.
Oh,
and they just did it.
My God. The comeback of the century.
They just returned, and they won.
From down. They had one less kill this game, but their teamwork was all it took, and they brought it together.
It's beautiful. They did it.
That
I can only imagine what they're thinking
game.
right now. That is a crazy game. Let's look at the stats real quick. That's a beautiful game.
That was amazing. And honestly, Point Park coming back at the very end, working together, pushing down, and finishing the job. That was one of the best games I've ever watched.
Yeah, I with the knowledge I know about the game, and this might be completely wrong. I'm just going to be saying some stuff here. From what I saw, what you really need to do is figure out what's the weakness of the enemy team. And I think we actually found at the very end what their weakness is an entire team brawling it out. Point Park University was just better. And they used that knowledge and just forced their way through the center lane. And they really got that win from that way. It's just brawling like that.
And now Point Park has done it. They are 1-0. This has been a great night for Point Park. They did a great job. They made it out of here with a win. Great work from all of them, honestly.
Yeah, that means that they have a... Yeah. So that means that compared to last fall, they changed it up. They are up. They're Hello, welcome back. We're back from the break here. Yeah, wow, that last game, very close. Thankfully, Point Park University brought that back up after a very interesting little incident that occurred with Lesley. They overextended and ended up getting eliminated, which gave the opportunity for Point Park University to push up ahead in mid and overall take the victory.
Yeah, that final fight was quite literally the game changer. And I think it needs to be mentioned, Shilato had a lot of kills in that final fight.
Yeah, it was like a combination of the team effort. But not only that, we really saw the ability of not only Gideon and, uniquely, Solotl, right?
Yeah.
And Solotl is our new player that got off the bench and is now on the roster in the Steam Startup, meaning that they're really showing themselves up there. I think maybe like support. I think they play support. I think I saw some healing going on there. But I think with that knowledge, Solotl is really showing that they deserve a spot on this team.
Yeah, I think they are trying to show that they have what it takes to be the starting player.
Yeah. So we'll see the change up on the teams this time. I wonder if Point Park University and Lesley will keep a consistent team this time.
It's already looking much different.
It is actually looking very much different.
Well, I guess Point Park's about the same. I think Lesley has a new character instead on the first.
Yes. So as this draft rolls on in for us to take a little gander at, even though neither of us really know what we're gandering at, let's talk a little bit about Point Park University Esports sponsor, because I need some. So I did this before, but I'm doing it again. I don't know. I'm going to pop this right on the mic because I need it. Oh, wow. What do you think that is? That's some Red Bull. Yum! That actually helps a lot. I've been talking a lot. Bryce has been talking a lot. We need some Energize. I drank a lot of water. However, the water is not going to do enough for me. I've been talking a lot. This two streams now. One Fortnite. I mean, shoot. One Rocket League. Apologies. One Rocket League, and then we have League of Legends. Very long games. Yeah, actually, Rocket League is not that long. However, it is very exciting. It's a very exciting game. So I raised my voice a lot, but now we're in a long con kind of game of League of Legends. My voice is now just consistently talking, saying something, and I'm starting to get parched.
Yes, this has been a lot different than Rocket League, and that it lasts a lot longer.
Yeah, it did last a lot longer. I think that first game was about 30, 40 minutes.
Oh no, it felt like an hour.
It felt like an hour.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting game, though. However, it's very interesting to see like the kind of team effort that Point Park University and Lesley has that they've been kind of showing. Both of them obviously trying to get their first win of the season. However, now that Point Park University got that first dub, we'll see if Lesley is going to fight back and show that they deserved saying that they've won against Point Park University. Because Point Park University, again, they lost last year. I mean, on last fall, unfortunately, 0-2. But this time, something's a little different, don't you think?
It got one. It could change everything.
Could be, might be time to say last spring. Whoops, my bad. Spring. The notes that I wrote, unfortunately, did not say spring. So that's unfortunate. Sorry, apologies for that miscommunication. However, again, well, it just nonetheless doesn't change the fact that this is a new game, and we'll see whether or not this is a turning point for Point Park University and show what they're really made of.
Yep. I think what's very interesting about this game is the teams are slightly different. I think these teams saw what they didn't like about the last team, and they banned it. I think that's what happened, and now we're seeing a slight difference on both teams.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
we'll see kind of how that affects this next game.
Yes. So, visually, I think that the draft is is essentially done now. On Point Park side, we have Ash, Viego, Morgana, Lula, and someone else that I'm not really sure. Unfortunately, we can't really see that one. And as for Lesley, what do we got?
They got Caitlyn, Talia, Nico, Lee Sin, and Tom Kench.
Yeah. So we're not really sure what those characters do, but we know that overall, interesting enough, the characters are meant to kind of work with each other, right?
Yep.
They're supposed to.
And there we go. We can see the final one on
And
Point
the final
Park's
one
side.
on Point Park's side is Orin. That is a very intimidating thumbnail locks character. I think that is a very intimidating face. I wonder what that character looks like on game.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. So let's take a look at the team here. I think they're very excited about how they got that win last time. So what do you think?
It's a pretty interesting kind of situation. I think there's going to be a lot of changes here this game, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So actually, visually, I'm seeing some excitement and also some like serious faces here. I know even though they got that win, I'm glad that they're still pretty focused up. They're ready for the next fight, and they really want to bring this home and say that they won their first game of the season.
Yeah, it seems like they really want to walk out of here with the big win and finish what they started.
Mm-hmm. So, what do we see here? Now that I don't know. Now that we see that the teams here are focused and they're ready to fight, what do you think is the thing that they need to change strategy-wise for this next game?
I think they need to play more aggressively. That was where they were really struggling last time. They didn't have as many kills as Lesley in the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need to do. They need to find a way to get those kills so they don't have to play from behind and they don't have to make one last rally to win.
I agree with that. Like it's interesting to see that we were really struggling to stay up ahead in that game last time, and honestly, what we really could do was just hope and honestly just pray to see hopefully that something will change. And I think at the very end there, they got lucky enough to see that potential little mistake that Lesley made and be able to take advantage of it, right?
Yeah, it was just very insane that they were able to see that and, actually use it to win. But it's going to be interesting to see if they can this time not just make one final stand, but just end it before they have to.
Right. So let's actually look at. So actually, interesting enough, that since this is our first match of the season, we really want to get this win, don't we?
Yeah, and I would think they really want to get too. It's that kind of game.
Yeah, like like visually, it looks very strategic, but all in all, it's still a game of whether or not you can show that you have the mentality, you have the skills, everything combines into one, and the ultimate word is teamwork.
Yeah, and I think that's something that really showed in the last game with how they finished it. They really were a great team and a great unit.
Yes, exactly.
And
like
if they can do that again, you never know. Sky's the limit for them.
Yeah, I noticed that because, like, especially towards the beginning of the game, it was kind of like 3 different games happening at once. In each lane, top lane was Almighty, middle lane was, bottom lane was Soup and Salat, and mid lane was everyone else. And it just kind of ended up being just a game of whatever could happen, and none of them really played with each other. But towards the end there, when they realized, hey, they're pushing all Lesley's pushing all together, I think that was kind of like an awakening for Point Park University, like, hey, why don't we do that? Why don't we push together like they keep doing? And I think because I think that's what showed. They were able to push back and then continue that aggressive push into the Nexus to break it.
Yeah, it was a big teamwork play, and it paid out well for them.
Mm-hmm. So now that we're waiting for the game to start, let's do a little bit of talking. Let's get to Let's get to talking about what you think about League of Legends. Like, are you excited about it? Like, what do you think about it other than like the aspect of it?
I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought I would.
I agree.
The
I agree.
strategic side of it is just so much cooler than I originally expected.
Yeah. Honestly, um, I believe that I personally don't think I would ever play it. However, I think I would definitely watch it more. Like, I would like to see a kind of like a highlight reel of the game and see like these crazy moments that we were able to experience. We were able to see at that last game. It's kind of interesting to see, you know.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like, it's actually really cool the way that, it came together. And I wouldn't want to play it because I don't think I'd be very good at it.
Yeah,
But
I agree with you
I
there.
like the way that the game plays, and I would love to watch it.
I agree with that. Like, it's very fun to watch. It's hard to. I imagine playing it feels more strategic and very stressful, especially if you want to play it very well. That team effort, I feel like there's so much team synergy that has to go on and understanding of how all the characters work. It's just, I can only imagine how mentally exhausting and difficult that can be.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I think in this. They actually have to, mentally put their all into it if they want to win.
I agree with that. Yeah. You know, Bryce, I like you. You're a good caster.
Yeah, I like you too, man. You're also a great caster.
Ah, that's so nice. You know what? Do you want a hug? Do you want a hug?
Sure, why
Yeah,
not?
let's get a hug. Oh, look at that. Oh, the casters are getting along. Oh, this is wonderful. Sorry, the casters are getting along. It's wonderful. I'm really happy right now. It's like it's 9:40. I'm trying my best to keep the hype up. This game of League of Legends is gonna be interesting. I bet that. We're gonna have another interesting game here, and I'm hoping that this next game will really show the difference that Point Park University's time to practice has made.
Yeah, I think that's a true thing, and I'm really interested to see just how the second game plays, because it could quite literally change. Because last year, obviously, we were on 0-2,
Yeah,
so maybe this year.
it'll be 2-0. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I'm really excited. Honestly, one thing I don't know about this game is how old is this game?
I believe it's like 17, 16 years, something like that.
16 years.
Yeah, it came out
16
a long time
years.
ago.
Wow. This game's kind of old. A little old. I'm almost that old. I mean, wait, no. No, apologies. It's nearly as old as me, and that's a little nerve-wracking because eventually games that come out will be younger than me, and I'm going to have to say, wow, the new generation's playing this new kind of game. What am I going to say about that? That's going to be weird. But I'm excited about the new games that are coming out. What do you think about the new games?
I haven't really been paying much attention to them lately. I've been very busy, but I hear that
Yeah.
some of them have been very good. And once I get back into gaming, I plan to definitely check some of them
Right?
out.
Joining college now, it just feels very like I don't got that time to play games. However, being in esports, it just feels very collective, and I feel like I get the opportunity to do something, involve myself in Point Park University, while also being able to just enjoy Point Park. I mean, games.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it looks like we're starting, and they're moving out as a group here. They must have taken the teamwork aspect to heart.
Yeah, I actually noticed that. Seems like they're spreading out again from the river here. Playing a little bit interesting. I think mid lane, they're going to push heavy with 3. I think
Minions have spawned.
the Almighty might return up to the top. However, this might be an interesting little battle here. First hit that goes to Lesley. Fight here. 2v3. 3v3 now, however. One of Point Parks is fairly low. 2 now. Oh, however, I think they're pushing away. I think they realize that this is not the winning fight. I guess characters here, they're just not synergizing that way.
Yeah, we're still in the filling out stage. They're trying to, you know, understand the teams that they were dealing with. Obviously, with all the changes, there's a lot more to look at and learn. So they're trying to understand what the other team's strategy is going in.
I agree with that. Notice, actually, on our team, we have Salat playing as what Promise played last game, and I think maybe that might be kind of like the push back to what Promise was capable of doing last game, just getting those consistent wins, you know?
Yeah, I think they're trying to understand different characters and get used to them, obviously being a new player and all. And when they're ready, they want to build their own character, but they have to learn characters first.
You have to really show that they have good characters to use. Yes, exactly. So again, this time it seems like they're bottom lane is unfortunately being taken out right now by Lesley. However, it's being protected as much as they can from Slot. Meanwhile, top lane again. It's the battle of the centuries. The top lane again is Almighty with the Frosty.
You know what I kind of find interesting this time? This time it's two big characters. They're like two tanky characters just brawling.
Yeah, it's just a brawl up there. It kind of reminds me of this might be an absurd reference here, but you know, like Elden Ring with the Beastmaster and Millennia. It's just like centuries of fighting, constant. It just reminds me of that. It's just a random little reference. However, let's return back to the game. It just saying stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's a lot of things that are the same about this in Elden Ring. Elden Ring, you have to also strategize. This is just the team version of Elden Ring, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with that. An absurd little connection there. However, again, we can get into a lot of games.
Oh, and the first blood goes to Lesley, as Point Park has been pushed back, and it looks like Red Team has claimed defeat of Warfare.
Yeah, they've got that bottom lane control again. Seems like that's consistent between last game and this game, where bottom lane is being pushed heavily by Lesley, while top lane is just kind of being at a stalemate with Almighty and Defroki. Just again, it seems like they're playing the same way that they did last time. Maybe it'll come out the same way, and Point Park University didn't really change what their strategy was prior. Hopefully, they understand what they need to change.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure just yet. We'll see what they do.
Yeah. So when this first monster spawns down at the the jungle, actually in 15 seconds, in fact, the first dragon's gonna spawn. We'll see whether or not Lesley is going to actually focus on that one again, or if Point Park University is going to take a little change and focus on that instead. Let's see.
Wow,
So the dragon now has spawned. Let's see what's gonna happen.
So far, it's been the same. Both sides are battling it out.
Yes. So actually right now what it visually looks like, they're too busy fighting bottom lane to really be able to focus on that dragon. However, they might decide to push back here because of that, because they want to get that dragon down. I think that might be what happens pretty shortly. I think that is what's going to happen. Pushing back, going straight to the dragon. Ah! Never mind. They might be playing that one out, actually. I think what they realized here is they can't really push the dragon without having to leave their turrets behind, which I think is what Point Park University is trying to kind of show, that they can't just willy-nilly group up and attack something without losing something, you know?
Yeah, and that does seem to be a common theme, but it looks like Lesley did decide to do what they did last time and go after the first dragon.
Yeah, so that earns them the first dragon elimination. Now that they have that little buff that they from defeating that dragon, now they're up ahead. And unfortunately, that means it kind of seems like the same thing's happening from last game. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a little too early to tell, but it does seem like it's going very similar as it did at the very beginning.
Yeah, so we're hoping to see Point Park University doing a little bit of a change, and honestly, what they're allowing these little drops of the similarities from last game, just because they're planning to change something up later in the game.
Well, I think also what they're trying to see is if the same mistake happens again, and they can capitalize and win it early.
That is true. However, I do believe if they're banking on the fact that they're going to that Leslie's going to make the same mistake as they did last time, who knows what exactly going to happen? Because if they make that, because if they do make that same mistake, that's glorious for them. However, what if Leslie's the type of team to adapt and change from what they've previously made the mistakes of? What is Point Park University going to do then?
Well, maybe they have another plan back as a backup plan, but they're waiting to see if they could just end it now. That's what they're thinking.
I like it. Maybe they are. We'll see what kind of gameplay that we got in store. The Almighty and the Croaky still playing at the top there, just playing what they do, doing what they do best. Kind of fun to see actually with exactly what they're doing. Doing what they do. So actually, interesting enough, back to actually what's going on here. Bottom lane is, I don't know. It's a lot to look at. I'm genuinely curious. I have a lot of curiosity. And there's the Void Grubs. Maybe the Point Park University will focus on Void Bugs again. And
We'll find out.
let's see.
And it looks like Point Park did lose somebody, though. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, actually, Lesley right now is focusing on those Void Grubs, meaning that they might have, that advantage of not only the Dragon and the Void Bug this time, which is differing from last game where the Point Park was focusing on those Void monsters, while Lesley was focusing on the Dragon.
Well, it seems Red is officially taking the Void Grubs, so that might just make things a little different this game.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to see some change in play that Point Park University is going to do, because again, as I said before, if they're banking on the fact that Leslie's going to make that same mistake again, what will they do if Lesley adapts and changes and learns from the mistake from the previous game? So I'm hoping to see that Point Park University has that ability to just show they have abilities that are far exceeding just hoping that the enemy team makes a mistake again.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely interesting, and we'll see how it goes down.
Yeah. So again, top lane is being just another stalemate. Nothing's gonna happen. What I do wonder is if whether or not either Point Park University or Lesley will decide to go up to the top lane and assist their fellow friends, because it's just been kind of a stalemate up there. However, from what we saw last game, when the Frokies team came up, they were able to get the opportunity to not only take that top lane, but also the turret down there.
Yeah, it is really important to kind of work together, and it's been shown already, so we'll see if they kind of do that here.
So notice that actually in bottom lane right now, we have a fight keep going strong. They got the opportunity to push up ahead, but unfortunately they got flanked from behind by this Jared guy, and unfortunately that guy was able to eliminate the push that they had, which is very nerve-wracking for Point Park University, because that push is what they really needed to be able to take advantage of that bottom lane.
Yeah, and I think it's very important that they do have that flank there, because that kind of helps them in case there is a push. And they just showed that.
Exactly. So again, at mid lane, the Gideon is unfortunately is forced to push away. Seems like regardless of where they are, regardless of where anybody is, Lesley has the knowledge that if someone's not doing well, they get called and they come up and assist that person.
Yep.
And I think that visually is being shown here, that every time someone's not doing well, they have backup. If someone else is not doing well, they have backup. And I think that's the consistency of this of Lesley. And again, now they're working on the second dragon. this might actually genuinely be very unfortunate for Point Park University now that they have the second dragon. That's going to allow them to have that like push ahead.
Yeah, it's very big, but remember last game they had built the first 2 dragons.
That is true.
And Point Park still managed to get 2 dragons after. So you never really know off the first 2 dragons.
So curiously, what I'm thinking here is what could be done for Point Park University is with that knowledge that Lesley, whenever someone is struggling, they all collectively decide to go tag team and get call over, so they're all able to help. I'm thinking what they could do, Point Park University could take advantage of that, kind of convince them to go to one lane, and then just switch over to a different lane and just push that one instead, rather and forcing them to either rotate over to the other lane or commit to that one as well, and it becomes a race against who can get to the Nexus first. I'm thinking that could be an interesting play here.
Another option they could do is they could also move all the people to that lane and just have like this huge brawl.
Yeah, just a consistent brawl that could eventually lead from bottom lane, which usually is where all the fight is going, all the way to the top lane, where Almighty and the Froki are consistently battling out. And if they get that, and if they get the entire team from like what we saw last game, they are a unit when all of them are there. However, the Almighty is constantly up at the top lane, so it usually ends up being this 4v4, and that 4v4 seems to be losing Point Park University's losing battle.
Yeah, and actually right now they are kind of working together here and getting some kills. We'll see if that kind of helps them take back control here.
Yeah, they're pushing pretty hard in the middle lane right here. We'll see if they're able to take advantage of this push. However, again, what I could say before, with this push in the mid lane, it might kind of call out to Lesley to start pushing back against mid lane and just have all of them push. However, what it looks like is everyone else is running out and dispersing. Where are they going? Who knows?
Interestingly, the turret plating will fall soon. And in the last game, after it fell, we saw a lot more towers fall, and there it is, it just fell. So could this be the beginning of the end? Could we start seeing towers fall?
Yeah, that is very true. Interesting enough, though, this time around, the economy between Point Park University and Lesley, it seems to be far more consistently close than it was last game, where last game it was Lesley really holding out, and then suddenly Point Park University hits it up there and then loses that lead with Lesley being up there again, and then it flip-flops back and forth very heavily. Right now it's consistently Lesley up ahead. However, Point Park University is not too far behind.
Yeah, I do believe that it might get back to that flip-flopping soon if Point Park kind of take control soon. I think they could begin the flip-flop.
Yeah, so notice actually what they're doing now is pushing from that mid lane over to top lane, killing the Froki, which means they have full access of the top lane and anything at the jungle, which is what I mentioned before. If they have that focus of building together and banding together and being able to focus on the entire team, they have the ability to really push against, because it seems like Point Park University as a collective is much stronger.
And right there, that's proof of it. They just took out a turret.
Yeah, they're much stronger in a collective versus Lesley's team.
But while they were taking out that turret, other people in their team went and got the Rift Hill.
Yeah.
They are working together. They are targeting things together.
Yes.
And it's making a huge difference in the game.
Yes. So I think what we've noticed here is...
And there goes another turret.
Yeah. So I think what we've noticed here, the goal of Point Park University should rather be separating and then separating, allowing the enemy team to just pick them off one by one and eventually push them back. They should they should form together, focus on a lane, push that, which scares the enemy team to have them all go there, and then they start dispersing so they're able to focus on other things, and then that ends up making it so the enemy team loses the opportunity of the jungles and the other lanes because they're so focused on one.
That is exactly what they need to do. They need to push their advantage because they work better as a team. If they use that to their advantage and they work together as a team, who knows? Maybe they might just end this one 2-0.
Exactly. We'll see. So right now, another dragon has just spawned. We'll see if Point Park University is going to take over that one, because they might really need to, because if they don't, Lesley will have that control of the dragon. Could be dangerous.
Yeah, it very well could, and that's why they really need to focus in on working as a team and going at things as a team. And there you go, the new player out here actually taking down people.
So it seems a very tight brawl right now in the bottom jungle here. It seems like they, it seems interesting, like they keep kind of going back and forth. Unfortunately though, now Lesley was able to push ahead, and I think now they're going to focus on killing this dragon. Meanwhile, Point Park University, I think, took too many balls, so they weren't able to really push against that.
But it's good to at least see them try and, you know, stop them from killing the dragon. It shows they want to do it, but unfortunately they just couldn't get it done.
Yep. So now they're going to be channeling, returning back to the Nexus to heal up Lesley's the Lesley University, and I imagine from there they will push up ahead, and we'll see what's going to happen with that. So right now, what we got with Point Park University, again, top lane's being just kind of maintained by the Almighty, while bottom lane and mid lane are just kind of being held. That it seems like the default positions of everybody, right?
Yeah, it does seem like they kind of had this in the game plan, that they wanted to kind of have people in certain positions. And then as they kind of continue the game, they're starting to realize, hey, we stay in our positions, but we also, every once in a while, group together.
Yeah, like I think first game they noticed that they were staying in their default positions so much that they couldn't really make a play because they were so busy protecting their own spot. And eventually they weren't able to make any, they couldn't really make any risky plays because eventually they were losing the ability to make risky plays. You know this? Fortunately, mid lane right now is being contested by Lesley and can't really be pushed back by Point Park.
They did lose a turret just there in the mid lane, so they need to think about getting back together and making another push now before it's too late.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just finished a can of Red Bull.
Yeah, I finished mine too.
Wait, you did? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Holy moly.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're sponsored by Red Bull.
Yeah.
We got cans of Red Bull for days. We really need to. Thank you, Red Bull, for sponsoring Point Park University Esports.
And looks like Point Park is kind of starting to get together again.
Yeah.
And you know what they do when they're working together.
They push hard and push proud. They're going to push
and
mid
they
again,
just
maybe?
summoned their Rift Herald as well while doing it.
Yep, so they're going to
Everything's
have...
coming together here, and they're pushing up.
Yeah, so I think this is their plan, to push mid very hard with the Herald. I think that takes down another turret.
And they got it.
Yeah, let's see if they can continue pushing that. I think they decided to fall back because Defroke was playing a top, and...
It looks like the Froki did manage to get the turret,
yes,
but then got chased away by the minions.
Yep, that's very true. So actually, that's an interesting push between both Point Park University and Lesley, with mid being pushed up ahead, where they're nearly at the Nexus, while top lane was being contested with Defroke.
Yeah, and when you look at the economy, it's still very firmly in Leslie's side. But then you look at the map, you see kind of where the turrets still align, and it kind of tells a different story. It looks like on paper Lesley should be winning, but in reality, are they winning?
Yeah, it's a very mixed bag of nuts here. We're not really sure what's going to happen. And maybe it's just because of our inexperience of the game. However, it also just kind of looks like it's just a mixture of fights. Is there actually going to be, is there a genuine advantage on either side? Or is it just kind of like a game that who knows is going to win? Actually, Point Park University
Point
just
Park
got that
just had a huge attack there that took out a lot of people.
and now they're going to focus on this monster here. Let's see if they can take it down. Though they are pretty harmed from the last fight. They have a teammate here coming in to help out, and maybe they'll be able to take out
They
this.
should have it now.
Yeah, they should be able to take out this monster and be able to have another monster under their list of jungle trolls. So currently, actually, officially noticed that they actually eliminated most of Leslie's team.
Yeah, the only one that got away was Gerard, I believe.
I believe that is true, yeah.
Kind of a crazy play.
The one that got away. All right. So,
Point Park,
musically
everybody, a music school.
Sorry, musically inclined. So, again, it seems like now that with that push, it actually boosted Point Park University's economy up ahead Leslie's, but again, we don't. We've noticed that there's kind of like a teeter between their economies, where Point Park University is up one, and then loses it very quickly. But we'll see how this little fight goes. And then a dragon just spawned.
They could still get a couple dragons on their side, Point Park. And if they're smart, why not, you know?
Yeah.
It could give them a little bit of an advantage as they go up.
This might be what... Oh my goodness, I just noticed that at that bottom, just right now, Point Park University pushing up ahead with their team of 4. I don't know exactly where... Oh, actually, Roberto is
hiding.
Is currently not with us right now. He will return, and I think with that 5v5 is going to be very crucial for this victory down here to be able to get control of that dragon. But unfortunately, I don't think because of Roberto's being dead, they're going to be pushed back, because I think they'll be able to handle that. Oh, and another one's down. I think that gives them that dragon.
Well, I don't even know why they need to be worried. They already have to, but
Yeah.
maybe they want to stop Point Park.
I believe that it's the same goal once they get that next one. And I think Point Park University is going to try to prevent it, but unfortunately, they've got the dragon. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, no.
Gibby just sniped
I
it.
think he did. I think Gibby sniped through the wall and hit the dragon at the very last second just to
What a
steal it.
play.
That is a very interesting play. That was a great steal. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Okay, so what do we say about that? Like,
That was actually one of the most interesting plays I've seen this whole game.
yeah. Like, I didn't even know like.
It didn't even register.
Like, it didn't even register the fact that Point Park University got the steal on that. I can only imagine what Leslie's feeling right now. They're probably feeling pretty agitated about the fact that they lost. They did basically all of the work to damage that dragon, and then Point Park University just kind of sniped that and stole it. Thank you, Gideon, for stealing that dragon. I think that's a very advantageous, very positive thing for Point Park University. Really
You know
pushing
what
it
I'm
back
kind
up.
of noticing about Point Park? They seem to click in when it really matters.
Yeah.
When things get close, when the other team seems like it's going to steamroll over, they do something, and they seem to click in, and they seem to win. And I'm really interested to see if that's going to matter in this game.
Yep. So the barn just spawned, and we'll see what's going to happen here. The Leslie's team seems to have band together to be able to push ahead. I'm thinking what they're planning to do is focus entirely on the aggressive end of things to be able to push themselves over. Meanwhile, Point Park University seems to be kind of behind here. We'll see if they'll be able to push up ahead like this. Oh.
Coming after
Picked off one.
here. And then Point Park
That's
working
another.
together. They're pulling it together.
Oh my god.
This is exactly what we said they had to do. They had to work together, all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're doing exactly that.
Yeah, all of a sudden, once they all team together, they all work together to be able to get the to be able to push ahead. They're able to have such a strong force to be able to just combat anything that Leslie's team decides to do. And clearly, now that they're working on the Baron, they have so much control over the next whatever happens next.
And they got it too. That is huge for them.
This is turning out exactly.
And they all just moved back.
Yeah, And now that they move back with their health, they can choose whichever side they decide to whichever lane they decide to push on. I think they're going
I believe
to
they're
do.
splitting for now because they're waiting for the Almighty to return. He's
Yes.
currently out, so they're kind of splitting up for a minute.
I
They
agree
kind of
with
hold back until they get.
I agree with that. So now that Almighty has returned, I think they might start congregating to recollecting towards mid lane, and they might start pushing up that lane. But I think they might be breaking off just a little bit, just to actually prevent that flank that Jared had.
They must have seen it coming and
Yes.
knew to stop it.
Yes. So I think actually now we have all of Point Park University except Axelot playing in the
And
middle.
another red turret
Yeah.
is down.
That's interesting.
You're seeing how this game is so much different from the last. Last
Yeah.
one they were shy, they were defending most of the game, and they barely scraped by. This game, all of a sudden they're starting working together.
Yeah, like they allowed some of these losses to occur, but now they like allowed some things to be taken away. But now they're focusing so much in the together,
And
being able to
another
push their way.
turret's down.
Another turret. Now they have control not only down at the bottom, and they also have control of mid lane. They have capabilities that are able to just push their way up to the Nexus. They can choose whichever lane they want to go for. And I
And
think,
look at all these minions here. Like, they have everything aimed right at the middle now.
yep.
And it's
that's
looking
another
like they
turret.
got it.
Can they defeat the Nexus?
There goes the red inhibitor.
Oh, they're going to go. All right, so I think they're hard focusing on that Nexus.
They understand that's what they gotta do if they want to win. They have to target the Nexus, and that's what they're gonna do.
I think they're focusing on it. Can they get it down?
It's coming down to the wire.
It seems very close. And
they got it.
They've got it. That is Point Park University. Another win. Let's go.
And you know what the craziest part is?
What?
They still didn't have the same amount of kills.
Oh my
Somehow
gosh.
they win, but they have less kills in the end.
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy. And it's basically the other team played better most of the game, but when it really mattered, they rallied together as
Yeah.
a team and they won it.
exactly.
And that's what mattered in this game.
Yeah. So this is a great afternoon. Not only Point Park University's Rocket League team won their first game of the season, they finally got their first win of the season. The League of Legends team got their first game win of the season, which not only just a game win, a win against a team from last spring that absolutely destroyed them, but this time around, they were the ones who brought up and got the 2-0 this time. I'm very glad.
It's awesome to see, and I'm very proud of them for doing it.
Yeah, this is a very good day. I'm very excited. I feel very good. As a caster who's watched and has not really played either games, I feel very proud. Very proud. So what do you think? What do you think?
It was a great match, but I think it's time that we say it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. I'm very glad that all of you who decided to pop by and watch the stream came and just enjoyed the presence of not only me, as in Kago, and
Bryce.
I'm glad that you've all watched. Thank you, Red Bull, for sponsoring us down at Point Park University in downtown Pittsburgh. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy your the rest of your afternoon. The next stream will be tomorrow at 7:30-ish. Around 7-ish for Valorant. And not only it's going to be one game of Valorant, but 2 games of Valorant for the gold team and what's the other one? Green?
Green,
The green team. So hopefully you'll be seeing us there again playing Valorant. And maybe we'll have some more intelligent knowledge with that one because I've had more experience with that.
I won't be here, but I wish you all the luck, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a good night. Bye-bye.